In this video, we're going to be talking about the temperature curve displayed in Kaffelogic Studio. This is our main focus of the recipe and the main element that gets the attention when profiling. This is our first and main component in the roasting recipe, or as we also call it, a profile. Starting with how to manipulate the profile curve, the easiest way to manipulate the profile curve is by utilizing its click and drag style of editing. So we can move these points around and make a general shape that we're after. We can also use these handles to adjust the radiuses of the curves, so we can smooth everything out or provide a more gentle curve. You can also add or remove points on the profile by going into the Draw menu and clicking on Insert Point. You can also remove points by doing the same thing or by clicking Backspace on your keyboard. Once we have all the points and where we want them, we can go into the Draw menu and we can click on Smooth Point, or we can click on Smooth All. And what that's going to do is it's going to more or less remove all of those little bumps in your profile and just give us a nice smooth gradient. If you're looking for a more fine adjustment, you can use these blocks at the bottom left corner. Start off by clicking on a point that you want to edit, and then we're going to go to time and temperature, and we can change these values to be something very specific. So let's say I want to change this one to be 4 minutes 30, and I want the temperature to be 190. These are the basics around how to edit the temperature curve. But we've got a few extra tools up our sleeve that we can utilize. So to play around with some of these more advanced tools relating to the temperature curve, an easy one that makes a pretty big change is the Transform Profile tool. So if we go up to Tools and we go into Transform Profile, pops up with a little block. We can use this pop-up and this tool to shift our profile up and down or forwards and backwards. Temperature will shift up, lower temperature or negative temperature will shift us down. Time will shift us backwards if it's negative and forwards if it's positive. So this can be a really easy tool to use just to move your profile around where you're trying to get it. We also have a nifty tool that lets you merge profiles with each other. This is the Merge Profiles tool. Open it up and select another profile that you would like to merge with your current one. Click Merge, and then you can select very specific elements to merge with your current profile. This is a really great tool if you want to experiment with different elements from profiles that you have either made or collected. On the right-hand side of your window, there are a few blocks and pieces of information. These are your roast phases, and more importantly, these are your predictive roast phases. These are a super handy way to trial and dial in your roast before you even get coffee into your roaster. If you have some general information around your coffee, or you've roasted it before and you know roughly what temperatures it'll crack on, you can shift around your profile to get your ideal drying, Maillard, and development phases before you even start. For someone starting out, a very loose guide from us for KL Explorer, which is our default profile, the first one that shows up on your roaster, goes as follows. Filter, we roughly choose around 12 to 16%. Espresso is roughly 16 to 24%. If you're dialing in though, and you fall out of those ranges, it's perfectly fine. It's just a super rough guide to get you started. Flavor is the most important thing to us and to you, so whatever works the best for you is what's best for you. We do have a few tips and tricks for the temperature curve. If you're wanting some variations with the temperature profile and want to start with a broader exploration, you can delete all but 3 points and move them into different shapes and try different styles of roasting. Steeper for quicker roasts with shorter development if you're wanting something for filter, or for a very light and bright espresso, or by shifting it to be longer and lower for a more classic espresso style profile with more development, or just something that's a little bit more body and texture driven. Referencing back to the phases panel, you can always set points from your roast profile to match the roast phases. That way you can fully control the phases such as drying, Maillard, and development. But what does this look like in a practical example? Well, I know where I'm situated. Color change usually occurs at about 175. So we'll set our first point at 175. And I'm gonna just say that I wanted around about 4 minutes for color change to occur. So I'll lock in that point. On the next point, we'll say that this coffee previously cracks at about 209. And I'm going to say that I want it to happen at about 7 minutes 30. So I'll lock that point in as well. Then we'll go to draw, smooth all, and we'll smooth out our curve. Now from here, I can go and I can make some further adjustments to my curve. Or if I decide that I want to actually push first crack out, I can extend that Maillard phase and re-smooth it. There is always going to be multiple factors that affect your roast. It's not going to be as simple as just lock this, lock that. There are many variables that happen during roasting, but this is a really good way to start getting used to profiling and start playing around and really trying to feel the effects of the different roast phases. We have uploaded a few tutorials already so that you can get to know your roaster a little bit better and level up your home roasting. I hope you have fun profiling. There are even more on the way, but until then, happy roasting.